Hey everyone. So Edge of Eternities pre-release was this past weekend and the set is releasing this coming Friday. But a lot of people have already been able to get their hands on the collector booster boxes if you go to your local game stores, and they're also up for pre-sale on TCG Player along with the singles. Now remember that on TCG Player they're currently just in pre-sale mode, which means that sometimes the pricing is not very accurate to the market price because only the certain sellers, such as the certified hobby shops, are able to list them on a TCG Player early for pre-sale. Once the set releases this Friday, August 1st, then any seller on TCG Player is able to list them. And typically what that does to the price is that, with the influx of supply, should bring the price of the products down. Sometimes a lot, sometimes a little, and depending on the demand, even if it brings the price down, if the demand is high enough, they will gobble that right up and the price can still increase from there. Here's a little tip from me is that the TCG Player will allow the pre-sale to end and any seller to list on TCG Player on Friday night or Friday morning at 12 a.m. So Thursday night, if you want to somehow check out what the prices could be, sometimes the prices drop the most during that time frame. So you would want to check it out Friday at 12 a.m. So you'd have to stay up late on Thursday night. And it's Eastern time in the United States. So for people on the West Coast, that would be at 9 p.m. on Thursday night, July 31st. I think July has 31 days. Yeah, July 31st. And for example, what happened in Final Fantasy was that the pre-sale ended on TCG Player, whatever the day was, Thursday night. And a lot of people, they probably had it automated already because TCG Player allows you to list it even though you're not a certified hobby shop, even though you're not able to sell pre-sale. But as a seller, you're still able to list it. And once the pre-sale ends, which would be 12 a.m. on Friday, once that ends, the system automatically puts it up. So what happens is people will put that in prematurely. And so once the block lifts, all of those listed products will be listed onto the market. It's pretty late in the United States when that happens. So many of the sellers are asleep. Sometimes they're not keeping track of what the market price is at the time. And you can see prices of products dip pretty hard at that time. So maybe if you're in the market for a collector booster box and the price currently is like $430, you might be able to find it for, who knows, $300 this coming Thursday night at 12 a.m. Eastern, or Friday morning, 12 a.m. Eastern. All right, so let's talk about the collector booster box of Edge of Eternities and what you can get. Now, this is a pretty complex, there's so many different variants and so many different versions of things that are only available in collector box that it gets quite confusing. And I apologize if I get some of this wrong because it's very confusing. But I'm going to just talk about the main things that stand out. All right, so we have here Sothera the Super Void. This is the number one chase, probably the rarest thing you can open in an Edge of Eternities collector booster box. It's just a textless Sothera, right? But it is, as what they say, extremely rare, and it will, in any language collector box, it will always be in English, but it doesn't have any text. So the name of the card, along with any of the stuff on the bottom, that's all going to be English. It's always going to look like this, whether you open this in an English collector booster box or a Japanese one or another one in any other language that they print them in. Currently, this card is going for about $2,000 to $5,000 right now on TCG Player. There are only 2 listings, and they are going right here. I have it right here. There's one listing at $2,000 and one listing at $5,000. We'll see if it holds that price, but this is the number one chase card. All right, so what else can you get in collector booster only for Edge of Eternities? You can only get the poster stellar sight lands in collector boosters. So the version on the right of this Mountain of Confluence can only be opened in collector boosters, and you can get them in non-foil and you can get them in regular foil, and you can also get them in galaxy foil. So 3 different versions of this card can only be opened in collector boosters. Now on the left, we have the regular stellar sight lands. And these regular stellar sight lands can be opened in play boosters and collector boosters. In play boosters, they can be opened, there's 1 in every 8 play boosters, which means on average, you're going to get a little over 3 of these per box, per play booster box. You can get these either in non-foil or foil. Actually, I think you can only get the, let me see. Can you get the foils in the play booster? I think you can get them. Not only can these be found in non-foil and traditional foil, but we're bringing back galaxy foil. You can find a land from the south side. I think you can get these in foil in the play boosters as well. Now, but these can also come in the collector booster as galaxy foil. Okay, so in the collector booster box, you will get 1 of these in every pack. There are 45 different stellar sight lands, so the chance of hitting the one you want in the version you want is very, very low. But in a collector box, you will get 12 stellar sight lands. They could be foil or non-foil version of this, unless they're always foil. But this version on the left, the stellar sight one, it could be galaxy foil, and then the right side, the poster stellar, you could get a poster version in non-foil, foil, or galaxy foil. And the prices range drastically amongst the different versions. We'll take a look at the prices in a little bit. Actually, let's take a look at the price right now. So here I have some of the prices. As you can see, we have here, this is the Ancient Tomb, which is, the Ancient Tomb and the Gemstone Caverns are probably the biggest ones you could hit. This is the Ancient Tomb Galaxy foil. So you can only get the Galaxy foil in the collector booster, and it's currently listed going for around $495, one listing, and the next one is $547. So it's a big gap right there, but you're looking at about $500 for this one. The Gemstone Caverns, this is the poster version of this, which can only be opened in collector boosters in non-foil, foil, and galaxy foil. The most expensive, of course, being galaxy foil, and also going for $500 with only 1 listing. Again, this is pre-sale. Anything could happen once pre-sale ends, which will be this coming Friday. All right, so what else can you get? Here they called this treatment the Borderless viewport lands. So you have them in the shock lands, and you have them for those new planets that they came out with, right? Like the pseudo Gaia's Cradle and pseudo Talarian Academy. So you can get this version in play boosters, but you can also get, so the play boosters are always non-foil of this version, and the collector boosters, you can get them in foil and non-foil. But see, it says right here, non-foil and traditional foil can be found. Oh, I'm sorry. So non-foil and traditional foil can be found in play boosters and collector boosters, but the collector boosters has a chance of hitting these in the galaxy foil versions. And really quickly look at the price of some of these in galaxy foil. For example, you have the Breeding Pool Borderless Galaxy foil going for about $113. $113.80. All right, so what else can you get? Here we have the special guest cards. Believe there's 10 of them. Sliver Overlord is probably the best one. So in the play booster packs, you can get any of them, but they're always going to be in non-foil. And in the collector booster, they will always be in regular foil. And the price of these, they're not that high. They're definitely not as high as any of the galaxy foils, or I think they're calling them the Japanese showcase foils. But let's take a look at what the Sliver Overlord is going for. $65. I think this is non-foil. So yeah, the non-foil is going for about $65, and the foil version of Sliver Overlord, okay, that's not bad, $117. So there you have it. You can get this in the foil version, which is like almost double the price of the non-foils. Only the foils only available in collectors. All right, there's more. If that's not enough, there's even more. So let's see, what else is there? So we talked about this. You can get this in one in every 8 play boosters, foil or non-foil. You get one of these in every collector boosters. There's 45 different ones. You can get them in Galaxy foil in the collectors. Then there's the poster ones, only available in collectors, non-foil, foil, and Galaxy foil. They have the Borderless Celestial Basic Lands. So you can open these in play boosters, but the Galaxy foil versions of these are only available in the collector boosters. They look really nice, and they're actually not worth that much. I have here, you can see it. This is the Galaxy foil of the mountain. It's really hard to tell kind of on camera, and I have the shiny sleeve on it, but it looks really nice in person. Just have to trust me on that. They're not that expensive. I think they're like about $5 each. All right, so what else? So we have the Borderless Triumphant cards. It's just this frame that they're talking about. So you can get these in both play and collector, in both foil and non-foil. You have this type of borderless treatment. They're calling it surreal space cards. Again, you can get them in play and collector, in non-foil and foil. We talked about the special guests, foil only in collector, non-foil in play. And then we have the out of this world Japan showcase cards. So both of these versions can only be found in collector boosters. And here we have the Sothera version. This is the Sothera fracture foil. It's going for about $425. And this, and then what is the Sothera? So that's the fracture foil. Let's take a look at what the other one they're calling it. So many different versions. This one, the showcase, Japanese showcase version, and this one is $80. So the fracture foil Sothera is $425, and then the showcase one is $80. Of course, again, pre-sale. You can get some of the other cards as well, but 2 out of 3 times you get this, it's going to be in English, and 1 out of 3 times, 33%, it's going to be in Japanese. And the Japanese version, unfortunately, is worth quite a bit less. So let's take a look at what the Japanese version of the showcase Sothera is. $36 as opposed to 60 something as opposed to $80. And then this is $420 in English, and the Japanese version is currently going for $450. Very interesting, right? We'll see if that holds, but typically the Japanese language versions are worth a lot less than the English ones. So very interesting to see if the fracture foil of Sothera will hold the same or similar price or even more than the English. I doubt it. I think this is all just pre-sale pricing right now, but we'll really have to see. This is another interesting one. I don't know if people really know about this or even care, but the extended art cards. So for example, the Eternity Elevator on the left is the regular treatment, on the right is the extended art treatment. They are only available in collector packs, the extended art ones. And they can be in foil or non-foil. And you can find non-foil versions of cards from Edge of Eternities Commander in collector boosters. So the collector boosters will only have non-foil versions of the Commander cards. So that's everything. That's the big difference. There are so many different treatments of cards that are only available in the collector booster. Currently, the prices range very greatly depending on if you get the Galaxy foil, fracture foil, whether it's in English or Japanese, or you get the Japanese showcase. So there's so many variants, but I think that because the collector booster packs can give you such nice and special versions of cards that are only available in the collector packs. Of course, there's pros and cons to this. It kind of makes it less exciting to open a play booster pack, but you can still hit some decent things in there. So you can get that Sliver Overlord in non-foil, and I think it was going for about $60 something. Again, we'll have to see if that holds. You can also get an Ancient Tomb. Let's see how much the Ancient Tomb is going for that you can open in a play booster. I think does it say right here? It's $100? I don't know if you can. Yeah, I think this is it. Non-foil Ancient Tomb, $103. You can get this in a play booster pack. So pretty good. You can get that, but you can get the Galaxy Foil version of that in the collector booster. And the Galaxy Foils look really great. So how much are the collector booster boxes going for? They're currently going for $433. That is a lot of money. To compare this to something pretty recent like Tarkir Dragonstorm collector boxes are going for about 320, 330, 340ish. And that box has serialized, it has one serialized Mox Jasper, and it also has the Dragon Scale fetch lands in it as well. It doesn't have all of these other cool lands. It doesn't have as many treatments as this. So I feel like they really stepped it up with collector boxes for Edge of Eternities. I don't think it's really that necessary to have a serialized card. And if you look at Bloomborough collector box, they're going for, I think they're going for like 600. Yeah, 620. So I do think that the Edge of Eternities collector booster box right now, I'm not going to say it's cheap. I think it's expensive, but I think it does have room to grow. I think it could certainly reach 600 over time, because, the lands, Shocklands, Galaxy Foil, you have Fracture Foil, you have so many different versions of things you can open. It makes it actually pretty exciting to open a collector booster box of Edge of Eternities. So my verdict, is it worth it? I think it is worth it. The real question is, how much are you willing to spend on it? I know that $430 is a lot right now. Even at it's kind of right before the huge spike, it was still sitting at about $330. So we are at about $100 more right now. And I don't know. You're probably, again, this is opening boosters, opening sealed boosters. It's kind of like, it's basically gambling. Don't expect to make your money back. Most of the time, you are not going to make your money back. But I think this is a very fun box to open. And so if you really enjoy opening collector boxes for the fun of it, or if you really want to get some of the cards, certainly I think if there's a specific card you want, buying the singles is the way to go. Obviously, unless you're trying to buy that $2,000 card, just forget about it. I mean, if you're trying to get that $2,000 Sothera, you're still better off buying it, because for $2,000 you're getting less than 5 of these boxes. You're getting 3 boxes. You're not going to hit it in 3 boxes. So buying singles is still the way to go. But if you enjoy the opening of the booster packs, I think this is certainly worth it, because I think this is a very fun box opening experience. I'm going to open a box when I end up getting one, and I'll put it so you guys can see it, and let me know, are you excited to open some Edge of Eternities collector boxes? Have you already opened it? Did you get any of the really nice hits? And thanks for watching, guys, and good luck out there.